Hey, D Grant here with you again for a little bit of perspective this time around. And hopefully, this will be a little bit funny, but there's this great quote that Wayne Dyer has that says, "When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change." Now, I've been quoting Wayne Dyer in a variety of ways for probably the past, 4 or 5 years at least, repeatedly. And this is a quote that I bring up often. And I had this thought as I was walking to the bank earlier this week. And the thought was this, and this is where it can kind of be a little bit funny, but it's also a challenge to you and also to me, and I guess to Tigger as well, to be mindful of the perspective that we have about ourselves and mindful of the perspective that we have about other people, because our perspective can change. And what is it, buddy? You want to say hello? And I think this message has been endorsed by the Tigger. Our perspective has so much impact on the way that we see ourselves, the way that we see the world, and ultimately can have so much impact on the way that we live our lives. So here's the perspective I want to share with you. Prior to about 2 years ago, if you were to go to the bank or if you were to go to a convenience store and somebody outside of the bank is putting on a mask and covering up part of their face, you might question whether or not you want to go into the bank. Because our perspective at that time was, if you're going to put on a mask, whether that's a COVID mask or whatever, or you're going to put on some sort of handkerchief or something, I can't think of the name of those, bandana or whatever, that's going to cover part of your face, your perspective would be, this person wants to hide part of themselves before they go in here. That's dangerous. I don't know if I want to go into this place. But now, because our perspectives have changed and our situations and our world has changed, when somebody puts on a mask, you're like, oh, okay, they want to protect themselves from the potential of spreading or getting COVID. That's a whole different thing. This person's all right. So our perspective on a person can change based on what we believe to be true about other people and what we believe to be true about what's going on in the world. And with just that reference point, I want to challenge you, and I'm challenging myself in this, when I find myself having a thought or a feeling or an idea that isn't loving, that is fear-based or is anxious or is worried, I'm pausing and asking myself, how am I seeing this situation? How am I seeing this person? How am I seeing this circumstance? And why is my perspective in this place that isn't love? Because as long as I stay in this place that isn't love, this isn't going to be a good thing. It's not going to be a good feeling. And how can I change the way that I look at this situation or this circumstance or this person or whatever it is and see it through a lens of love? Instead of maybe criticism or judgment or fear or worry or anxiety or whatever the low level energy is. And I believe that the more that we do this, the more that we change the way we look at things, the more we change the way we look at people, and we do this from a perspective of love, the better our lives are, the better our relationships are, and the better our world gets. So that's my encouragement for you today, to change the way you look at things so that the things you look at change, to change the way you look at people so the people you look at change, and to change the way you look at yourself. Because as you change the way you look at yourself and you see yourself through a lens of love, everything changes, and life becomes super awesome. I believe in you. I love you. I'll see you soon.